Hello everyone and welcome along to our coverage of the Vittoria EWS Tweed Valley, the final round of what has been an incredibly exciting season of enduro racing. It's been 6 years since the series has travelled to one of the real hearts of British mountain biking here in the Scottish borders. A whole festival's worth of action going on this week at the venue, lots of activation around the valley of the Tweed, including Danny McCaskill's drop and roll tour amongst many other things on site. We have been battered by the weather somewhat, showers moving in and out of the event village, making Saturday evening's pro stage treacherous going, and it did produce some drama of the highest order when Richie Rude, a rider 70 points adrift going for the championship, was disqualified from the final race of the year after riding outside the course markings during this pro stage. And in other news, two of the big names of the Enduro World Series bowing out this weekend in the form of Damien Otton and Robin Wallner. This will be their last EWS. Well, joining me as ever is Rory Cunningham. Rory, looking forward to this one? Some people racing bikes in your own backyard?
Yeah, definitely, Rick. Amazing to see all the pros here in the Tweed Valley and tearing up the trails that I grew up racing on.
Well, unfortunately, one rider we did not manage to get earlier on is Jess Stone, local girl, of course. She was out before our cameras were. Third fastest of the day. Let's join the track now for the second fastest pro women's rider of the day, Noga Korem. She was 2.83 seconds back when all was said and told. Currently ranked 5th in the world for GT Factory Racing, coming off a strong end to this season, third at the last race at the Bluegrass EWS finale presented by Vittoria. Rory, she made good sense of this today.
Yeah, Noga's been going strength to strength this year, race by race. She's getting better. We saw her on the podium a couple of times and looking good out there in the mud.
Into the tunnel section now, warp speed through here. You can see the water kicking up.
An old bust up here that's been resurrected from the 90s downhill racing.
Do you remember that?
Not quite.
Yeah, that's what you'll say on this. Anyway, here we go. Noga, this awkward little left-hander. Then there's a bit of a back on the pedals, bit of a sprint down towards. You can actually just see the daylight breaking through there. Really dark conditions, really, up on the stages today.
Yeah, a lot of standing water on trail, Rick. Visibility for these riders is a big issue. You see Noga using the roll-offs there. Looks like her Garmin's also detached there as well, flapping about. Might be a little bit distracting.
Always a good sign when you're going that fast. Your GPS comes off. Let's hear from her now.
Really cold, I really struggled to brake. I tried to ride with this and I wasn't not able to do that. Like my fingers are freezing. But it was really fun, like the crowd is awesome, the event is beautiful.
Let's head back to the top then. Bex Baraona, the fastest rider today in the pro women's class with a 4:05.1. Riding for Ibis Cycle. She lives right here in Innerleave and she knows these stages, and crucially she knows how to make sense of these conditions.
Yeah, coming off a podium in finales, a lot of confidence. Like you say, she's relocated to the Tweed Valley, so home trails for her, and yeah, she made the most sense of them today.
She was third last time out in finale, a result that's really filled her with confidence and belief that she can win one of these races, and why not win one, their first one, on your own doorstep.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, bit of a mistake there, but yeah, Bex has good power getting back up to speed for this final push.
Didn't cost her too much, you'd have to say. Rory, will she be doing a bit of a rain dance this evening, do you think?
I'm not sure, Rick. I mean, I think, finale was bone dry, and here's far from that. I mean, she's clearly got pace in both conditions, and yeah, just be really good to see her get the victory tomorrow.
Let's hear Bex now.
Pretty wild conditions, quite hard to keep the body warm at the top there. Decided lensless, and yeah, it was a bit of a wild ride, but I just love it here. Like, the people on the track, everyone screaming my name, it's so good.
No, here are the results then for the pro women. Bex Baraona leads the way from Korem, Stone, Morgan Shar up in 4th, Rafaela Richter in 5th. Now let's head to the pro men's, and third fastest time today was Lewis Buchanan, 4.86 seconds just off the pace. Another local, somebody who has grown up riding these stages. He'll know them well, Rory, won't he?
Yeah, we haven't really seen him at many EWS. We haven't seen him at any EWS events this year, Rick. He's been preparing for this one. Super fast racer, local. I mean, he's up for this.
Yeah, that washing machine of his will need to be up for it as well in that all-white kit as he heads into the tunnel section. Just moving around off the line there. Just keep... Visibility was one of the big things that the racers were saying at the bottom of the stage was a real challenge today, because as you can see, just so much standing water on course. Now, Lewis did come down a fraction earlier than everyone else in that first group, but I mean, marginal gains, as you can see from the track.
Yeah, he's no slouch, making a lot of sense of this middle section here, carrying really good speed. And you can see the water on the GoPro. If riders are struggling with visibility today, doing that tomorrow, 5 stages in a row, I mean, that's going to be tough to prepare, you know, enough goggles and prep enough to manage that.
Yeah, litres and litres of Optrex will be needed after the race tomorrow, no doubt about it. Lewis said, I think we'll hear from him at the end of this run, but was very, very vocal at the end of this that he does obviously want to see a lot more rain overnight, and rain tomorrow would suit him, I think, on that big Norco.
I don't really see how it could rain anymore, to be fair.
I know, it was like being on the deck of an oil rig, wasn't it? But here he comes down the line then through this tricky section that caught Richie Rude out, crosses the line. Let's hear from him now.
Just clean. Vision was so difficult. Yeah, just really hard to see. But a lot of grip to be had, so I'm praying that it keeps raining.
And here we go then, second fastest today, Martin Maes, just 3.72 seconds back. He was the winner on the last pro stage last time out in finale. Someone who, I mean, as you can see already, especially down the bottom section of this course, really was almost visibly faster in places.
Yeah, you can see the rain coming down here. Martin opted not to take his waterproof jacket off. Smart man.
Yeah, I kind of not sure why we saw so many. I suppose only one stage for riders to complete in a jacket today, but you would get cold. It was very, as you can see, the spectators on the side of the stage really, really well covered up. But Martin heading down to the line.
Yeah, making good sense of that tricky kind of high line on the left-hander.
He is one of those riders that once it does get wet, he excels in most conditions, but especially in the wet. He likes it tough and likes it hard going.
Power wheelie off the last drop as well.
Yeah, Martin could well be a factor come tomorrow. Just getting the leg out round there.
Yeah, the soft bottom field really making riders sprint.
I think the rain is just making the tracks better. There's actually much more grip than what I expected. It's rocky, so there is a hard soil underneath, and I had a really good stage. I enjoyed myself. A lot of spectators out there, so it was good.
Here he is then, the fastest run from today. Jack Moir with a free 25.37 for the champion-elect from Australia. He spent a lot of time in Moorzine, one of the few other places on earth that you'll probably find trails as steep and as wet as these outside of the Mariana Trench.
Yeah, you can see him prepared. He's got an extra lens as an extension peak, roll-offs. He was up for this.
Fabian Burrell, really his mentor this year on Canyon, is in attendance. He knows a thing or two about winning championships, and he's here to support Jack the whole way through. This would have been a spot of fab back in the day. Look at that line through there from Moir.
Yeah, super impressive to see Jack down here. I mean, he's only ridden this trail once, and to see the pace he's going, it is just mind-blowing. A lot of spectators up on that middle section.
Jack still carrying a little bit of a shoulder injury sustained earlier in the year, but between the shoulder and having to fix that rim in finale with a rock, he's really won this the hard way, and tomorrow he's assured us he is going to go all out for the win here as well.
Hopping up onto that high line and gap back across the trail, so smooth. And good power too.
Yeah, he's away again, isn't he? 5 wins so far this season from Moir, and you get the feeling that you're going to have to stop him making it a 6th if you want to take the title.
Cheeky little roll off there before he drops into the bottom field. Sprinting all the way to the edge of that drop.
Just carrying speed really nicely round that right-hander. And that is Moir over the line and in the pole position for tomorrow's full course event. Let's hear from him now.
She was a loose one. Better traction than yesterday actually, because there was a lot of water on the track, but still a few sketchy moments, hard to see. Went with the rolls, paid off. Yeah, I don't want to be cold, but at the same time, done a lot of mud riding in Moorzine this year and haven't had a race to put it to the test, so I'm good either way.
So here we have then confirmation there. Moir from Maes, from Buchanan. Jesse Melamed, another rider who looks supremely at home in these conditions, in 4th. Greg Callahan, great to see the Irishman up into 5th as well. One of his best stage results in a while. So looking forward to plenty more from these top EWS riders tomorrow. Don't forget that you can follow all the action from the Vittoria EWS Tweed Valley as it happens on the Enduro World Series social channels, as well as right here on GMBN, where we will be bringing you the full highlights as soon as we can. Until then, Rory and I are off to try and get dried out. Thanks for watching.